So in our workplace, over the last few weeks, we have experienced a number of life-changing situations. Situations that cause sorrow, sadness, and grief. Some families are dealing with a recent diagnosis for which there is no cure. Some are going through a heartbreaking separation, and others are dealing with death. And you may have your own personal valley that you're going through. Now each one is unique in and of itself, and we all deal with sadness, sorrow, and grief differently. And one of the hardest things I think that we have to experience is not just the reality of the circumstance, but having to go back to work with that circumstance, that situation weighing heavy on us. So today, I want to give you 4 things that you need to do when going back to work. But first, I want to share with you how sorry I am. I wish that there was something that I could say or something that I could do to make the pain less or to even take it all away. I mean, as a chaplain, as a pastor, I wish that there was a Bible verse or a story that would help you make sense of all of it. But unfortunately, it's not there. Grief, sorrow, and sadness, they're a part of life, and it really stinks sometimes because it can seem almost unbearable. So as I go through these 4 things, don't think that they are a fix. Instead, they're just things that may help. So here's number 1. Don't assume that everybody knows. Now, I don't believe that people are intentionally insensitive. In most cases, people just don't know what you've been going through. And for those who do know, we have to realize that life-changing situations like death, divorce, disease, they often leave us tongue-tied and at a loss for words, which is why we tend to say the wrong thing at the wrong time. Sometimes we just don't say anything at all. I might also say that if you're hoping that returning to work and staying busy is going to help keep your mind occupied, just be prepared for coworkers, because they're going to come alongside you and they're going to offer their condolences. And one thing you might want to do is just let your coworkers know that you appreciate their sympathy but would prefer not to mention it at work for a while. Either that or have your supervisor communicate that for you. Number 2, forgive others. If and when you go back to work, you might find some people that used to be pretty close to you and are pretty chatty, but now they're distant and they're quiet. And here's why. Because most people just don't know what to say. Or they worry about saying the wrong thing, and so they just unconsciously distance themselves. I don't think that they mean any harm. I just think that they don't know what to do and they don't know what to say at that given moment. Now, don't hold this against them and allow it to burn a bridge. When the time is right, you let them know it's okay. You keep that bridge built. Keep that relationship strong because you're going to need it. Number 3, forgive yourself. I don't think we really ever get over it. Instead, we learn to get through it. So don't expect to be in 100% when you make it back to work. And don't expect to be your old chipper self. Whatever you're going through, it's a personal experience, and it's changed your life, and you need time to work through it. So instead of denying it, you just need to learn to forgive yourself when you don't act the way that you used to. And listen, it's okay. It's a situation, a circumstance, a life-altering experience that you've gone through. And then number 4, plan your escape route. You see, when you make it back to work, don't expect that you can always hide your tears during the workday. Instead, expect it to happen when you least expect it. You see, triggers are going to create tears. And if you find yourself crying, maybe you could hit the nearest restroom, find an exit, private space. I mean, just somewhere where you can take a minute to compose yourself if you need to do that. Listen, allowing yourself to feel sad and even cry is perfectly normal and natural. So instead of fighting it, just plan for it. As your chaplain and your pastor and your friend, I want you to know that I'm here. And I want you to know that others are available. Our door is open. Our email is always available. So take advantage of the help that you have. And don't feel like you have to go through this valley alone. God bless.